Hello everyone, welcome back to Procrastinate with Books. In today's new episode of Non-Fiction Books I Read for You, I'm back with a very new book. But don't get me wrong, this one is not in the self-help, personal development kind of a category. It's very authentic, and this video especially for my travel lovers. The book that we are going to discuss today is Hidden Places by Claudia Martin. The author has compiled a list of different places all across the globe, not leaving a single continent unturned, and she has distinguished those in different continents wise and categorized them further by countries and listed down all those places that are sort of a hidden place that people usually don't go out to visit when they think about that particular country, but they are like those gemstones that if you venture into deep forest you are sure to discover them. So, if you're interested to know more about this book and explore this hidden adventure with me, come along and watch the video in full detail because I'll be sharing all the insights related to this book, what it does mention, the pros, the cons list. Brief overview is something that we have already covered. So, without any further ado, let's quickly jump in. So, first of all, let's start with the key insights and the goal of this book. The author really wants us to explore the different places across the globe from an unseen eye. By that, what I mean is, if you think about India, most of the foreigners think about India as nothing but Taj Mahal. That's the first thing that comes to their mind. And besides that, even for other countries, if you think about Australia, kangaroo comes to mind, Canada, snow comes to mind, US, the New Yorker, busy downtown life is what comes to your mind. But besides that, each of these countries have so much more to offer. Even Thailand, for that matter, is known for its tropical paradise and whatnot, but there are certain hidden gems inside there once you venture into that you would be happy to explore, and that is why the author actually wants us to explore a less traveled path. Talking about what you will be finding in here, it's a pictorial representation of all these different places. So the book is approximately 226 pages long, and 180 pages out of that are covered with beautiful pictures, or at least a major portion of those. The remaining is the small text that describes the place, where it can be found, what are the specialities, etc. Just a very brief text. So it's more like surfing through an album than actually reading a book, and that is why I found it pretty interesting. Now, what sort of destination does the book discusses? You can think about anything and everything from seashores to mountain peaks, from stone architectures to shrines, temples, and different monuments that are created by man, or some of them are also natural made. They are all described in here. So it's a beautiful venturing out experience and opportunity for each one of us because it discusses not just specific countries that are famous all across the globe for their tourism, but also hidden gemstones and places like Turkmenistan and several other small places that you would probably never think about visiting are all mentioned down here. The key reason why I picked this book is because personally I'm a travel enthusiast myself, and when I actually read one of the places that I've already visited in the blurb of the book, which is Doi Sutep, I thought I must give this book a try, and thank God I did because I came across several other places that I have visited in past few years, and I was so happy to see them all listed in this particular book, which means I'm going in the right track or the right direction, because travel is not simply going to a specific place and clicking different pictures and just coming back with those memories, but also reliving those adventures for the rest of your life and having stories to tell about it. Now, I made a list of all the places that I visited, and the first one that I came across in the book was Doi Sithep in Thailand. And I was actually quickly flipping through the digital pages while reading this book because I wanted to see what have they mentioned about the book. It was a very basic list of the place and the temple and the shrine inside and a pictorial representation of it. And Doi Sithep is actually located in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is towards the Northern Territory. Now, a lot of people actually know the place for its tropical paradise nature, and beaches is what comes to mind when you talk about Thailand, right? But the northern side of Thailand is completely filled with mountainous ranges, and this were a really beautiful architecture that you can probably visit if you do enjoy mountains more than beaches like me. The next one that I came across was Wat Phra Doi Prachanan, and this one is actually a Thai Buddhist temple. So Wat basically means temple in English, and they are referred to as Buddhist shrines in Thailand as Wat. So whenever you hear the word Wat, it actually refers to a temple which is Buddhist. For all my atheist and non-atheist people, this temple had a very serene environment. People were really quiet and patient even when it came to the most photogenic places to take pictures. They all used to queue up in line very politely and wait patiently, which I found very interesting. Another great thing were the level of stairs. I think there are around 300 or something stairs that you have to climb up, and they are all coordinated on the both ways with dragon sort of snakes that open their mouths towards the entrance, and then you climb up, and at the top there is the mountain. It was a good some short hike, and if you're not very healthy, I think you might end up panting when you do the last steps of this. The next place that the book mentioned that I have personally visited was Nusa Island, and I felt that this was definitely a different some read. Nusa Island is part of Indonesia. It's one of the islands that they have, and it is located to the right side of Bali. It's pretty near from there, so people who do visit Bali can give Nusa Island a try as well, because Bali is a very favored destination for many people across the globe. They just love the tropical paradise feel, the beaches feel that it has to offer. So I think this island would be a great spot for them. Now usually people go to this place for a just one day tour where they visit the different scenic spots and end up on the last beach, have a bathing session there, do their tanning sessions and all those things, and just come back from there. The reason for this mainly is because the island is not very densely populated. Also, the roads and infrastructure there is not very heavily developed. You will see few houses here and there and few eatery spots, but there is a not lot of things that you can depend on to survive on that island. So I think a small trip is fine, but staying there for long duration is not something that I personally would recommend. I was flipping through the pages and I was thinking that it does not really mention India anywhere. Why is that so? And that's when I flipped back through those pages and discovered that Jaisalmer, which is a city in Rajasthan, was mentioned, but it is mentioned as the whole city and nothing specific, because Jaisalmer is famous for two reasons. One are the different architectural monuments that are present there, and second is the desert, where you simply go desert safari or desert camping, and there are certain adventure sports related to it. So that is something, if you are a desert lover and would like to experience the whole thing in Swiss tents and those sorts of things, then you can probably give that a try. But they did mention the whole city, which felt a little awkward because rest of the things were mentioned as a particular place that you can go. Now, if I do a quick pros and cons evaluation of this book title, the great things is it has beautiful pictorial presentation. It covers destinations across the globe, so it is relevant to all kinds of people, whether you do enjoy certain activities in certain countries or it is something else altogether. There is something for each one of you, so that's definitely a pro. Pro number three, that I have already visited four places that are mentioned in this book, and I do feel that those places are definitely peculiar and not your average places that usually people travel to, which is like a mainstream travel plan, and they are certainly different and a little offshore located. So I do think that the book does justice to the title, which is Hidden Places, and helps you discover hidden gems within the travel itinerary perspective. So now from the cons perspective, I just found it lacking in one aspect, that there wasn't enough practical guidance as to how you can plan a visit to that place introduced into the book. I know it's moreover discussing just the places and not the other detail or the back-end processing part of it, such as how to get there, how to stay in a nearby place, what are the livelihood options available around those places. So those details are something that are not mentioned. Now I know if you go and introduce all those things, it will become very lengthy. So I do understand why the author decided to skip a lot of such details and mainly focused around the place name and in which country it's located. But I think since a lot of space on that page was blank below that textual position, I think it could have been utilized to at least mention how do we get there, or what are the easiest mode of reaching to that place. Overall, I do feel that this book is great for coffee table sessions where you can place them, and it is definitely must for a travel lover. It will for sure inspire people and trigger their wanderlust at a greater extent. Once you start flipping through the pages, you really want to visit all those places. And that wraps up our today's video of the detailed book review of Hidden Places. I hope you guys had a lovely time exploring these. And if you do decide to visit any of the places that I just mentioned, because I primarily only reviewed the places that I've been to, because rest of it just wouldn't make sense, just flipping through the pages and saying, yeah, that's a good place to go to. So I just skipped those over, but it is definitely something that I would like to add to my collection, and I would also recommend my fellow readers to get the book as well because it is beautiful. Let me know in the comments down below if you also enjoy reading travel related books or stories based on travels of different people, and I'll catch up with you in my next video. Until then, keep your coffee strong and your TBRs loud. Goodbye.